If you are still pumping out ChatGPT content and wondering why your traffic is flat, that's exactly why your website's dying. Everyone thinks AI content ranks. However, it doesn't unless it's optimized for meaning, intent, and also entities. Now, when you're producing AI content, there is one thing called footprinting or AI footprinting. Now, this is one of the most common ones. I've just put in today's digital landscape, and you will see that there are a lot of websites that use that similar phrase very, very early on in the actual article. So as you can see here, in today's fast-paced digital world, right, that's the first article. There's another article on another website. And as you can see here, in today's digital landscape, then if we click onto position number 3, these are all different websites, different articles, but all of them have got the same footprinting. If we take a look at some of these articles, obviously at one point they did rank. This one was actually ranking position 1 between 3 in August 2025, and now it has just fallen off of a cliff as well. Also, this website is fairly strong. This webpage does actually have backlinks, but this article is just not optimized for this keyword. If you take a look as well, the backlinks going through to this website, it's actually coming from web design companies. So it does make sense, or it should be ranking. However, the content on this webpage is really letting itself down. And as you can see, this website, really, really strong. It's a DR55. Overall, it is relatively strong when it comes to power. It is ranking for 94, but is on a slow decline. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn AI slop into something that should actually rank. And you are actually more focused on entities, on reverse analysis of your competitors. You're not just going into ChatGPT and saying, give me an article to do with the importance of web design in today's digital landscape. Because this is probably, I'm almost certain this is what these guys have done, which just doesn't work. You need to make certain that you've got certain entities on the page, certain subheadings, certain FAQs, and we're going to go over all of that today. So as we can see, we'll talk a little bit about the strategy that this website's probably took on, right? They have went for a relatively long tail keyword, which is how web design helps businesses. It's a keyword difficulty of 2, and it gets around 20 search volume in the UK. Global searches, it obviously gets 200. So if you're watching this video in the US, you're going to get probably 50 searches. If you're in Canada, 40. This is a strategy that still does work. A lot of businesses go after long tail keywords in hopes that in 6 or 12 months time, they can rank for web design in London, for example. You want the long tail keywords to begin with, and then slowly you're going to get trusted to rank for, like, for example, web design in Manchester or web design near me. So from a keyword research point of view, they've kind of hit it on the head here. They've done it correctly from the 1 or 2 articles that I've looked at. They're slowly building up their topical authority to then be able to rank for their main keyword. And if we take a look here, this is a freelance web designer in Essex, and they've got a load of different services, like for example, web design in Essex. This is the main keyword that they truly care about ranking for. They do have a little bit of a navbar issue, but besides the point, this is the page that will generate this company the most amount of leads, right? However, where they are lacking is their blog content. Their blog content is literally just littered with AI, and we're going to fix that today. So all I have done is I've just copied the main keyword, the seed keyword, how web design helps businesses. And all I'm going to be taking a look at is maybe the top 2 or top 3 results. The first thing that I want to make certain of is the website that's actually ranking is because of its content. Now, in some cases, when you're doing reverse SEO, or when you're reversing somebody else's SEO strategy, what you might find is a website is an outlier in the fact that it might be a super strong website. It might have a ton of backlinks. The content might not be that great though. So you might not want to copy their content strategy. You might want to copy that website's backlinking strategy. But in this case, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through all of these websites, just skim reading it, making certain that there are, for example, FAQs, conclusion. It's not just a AI slop, for example. This content is not terrible. So that might be a website or a article that we might decide to actually take into consideration when we are doing our content strategy for the page. Again, this web page here is not terrible. It's got like the final thoughts, which is like the conclusion. It's got a bullet pointed list. It's got good subheading structure. Let's take a look here. I'll also try to find like a poorly optimized content site as well, which we shouldn't touch. So this website here, one little tip that I would give you guys is download the detailed Chrome extension, because this will make your life a lot easier. Basically, this will tell you the subheading structure. Now, in this case here, right, I would actually have these. So this is like a H2, the benefits of professional web design, and these are just bold text. So I would actually have these set up as H3s. So basically how it would look like is H1, H2, H3, H3, H3. So these would all be subheading 3 level. Again, it's just a little bit easier for Google to understand what you're talking about. But this is what I mean. Like in some cases, websites rank, not necessarily because of their content, but they might have a strong topical authority. They might have strong backlink portfolio, etc. This is how I would probably have it. This is a much better subheading structure. So they've got like a H2 here, and I'm going to assume the numbered list is actually H3s. Yeah. So this is like a reasonably decent website to actually copy what they're doing from a content point of view. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to select 2 websites from this maybe top 10 list, and I'm going to go over to my article builder. Now, basically what this does is it allows you to create SEO optimized articles with entities, with correct subheadings. The link for this is down below. It's completely free to use, so feel free to grab it. But basically what this will do is it will analyze all of your competitors' subheadings for you. Once you have the actual link to the sheet, just remember to select make a copy, so then you're actually able to use it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the second tab. We're going to grab one of our articles and we're just going to paste it into here. And all we're going to do is we're just going to grab our second competitor and we're going to paste these guys into here as well. Now, basically what this sheet does is it allows you to do reverse SEO and figure out which subheadings your competitors have on their website and which subheadings you don't have, if that's what you're looking for. In some cases, it is a brand new article and you won't have any subheadings at all. So if we take a look here, as you can see, if we even open up like the detailed SEO extension, you'll see that there are various different subheadings and stuff like that. So all I'm going to do here, the prompt's actually built in. I'm just going to copy all of these subheadings, including the prompt at the top, and we're going to head over to ChatGPT. So all we need to do is just paste it all in here, and we can just do an enter and say like something along the lines of, my company is called KD Web. We have been in business for 10 plus years. Obviously, if you give it more context, it's going to be able to understand what your business does a lot more, but it's always important to give context to ChatGPT about your business. So for example, if you're a law firm that specializes in divorce law and you've been doing it for 50 years and you've got 500 lawyers on that work with you, you would want to obviously mention that, because it will be able to actually include that within the actual article. So as you can see here, this is the actual content brief that it's been able to generate us. And if we just copy all of this back into our article builder, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to tab number 1 and we're going to paste it into our subheadings here. And what we can also do as well is we're going to just copy this. We're going to paste that in there. So that's our subheading, or our H1, should I say. Now, few things about this Google Sheet is I've also been able to include like the article scope. So if it's an informative article, if it's a listicle, if it's a service based article, you've got the end goal as well. So what do you want people to actually do after reading this article? Do you want them to sign up to your newsletter? Do you want them to sign up to a PDF? Do you want them to contact you via the contact form? There's all of these different outcomes or possible actions for your readers. Then you have got the tonality. So do you want it to be an informative article, controversial, or conversational, authoritative, empathetic, humorous? So you've got all of these. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, just maybe spend like 5 minutes reading what the cheat sheet actually does. And then, as you can see here, we have got the sources section here as well. So what we can actually do is we can find a Wikipedia page to do with web design. Wikipedia. So if we just search that, as you can see, there's a Wikipedia page there. The reason why we're doing that is because we want to make certain that ChatGPT actually fact checks anything that we say. So we're just going to copy this and we're going to paste this back into our ChatGPT, which is over here. So we're just going to hit enter and it's going to go and do its thing. So here's a few things that you can also give it when it comes to like a little bit more context to your company. So I actually didn't say what are the typical costs of web design, but it's actually said here £2,000 to £10,000 based on features, customization and stuff. So you might want to actually include how much you charge as a web design company or as a law firm or as a dental practice, whatever you actually are planning on doing this content for. Then you've got like the typical turnaround time as well. So this again is said 4 to 8 weeks. Now, again, just based off of my own experience, in some cases it might be a little bit longer, especially if it's like an e-commerce store. It might be like 6 months in some cases if it's an e-commerce store. But from an overall point of view, it's not done a terrible job. I mean, it's already a million times better than what we were looking at before, which was on this website here. If we just load that article up again, the importance of web design. Now, a few things about this sheet, right? You can change the article scope. I actually didn't go over this to begin with, but you can change it from being like a service-based article, a how-to guide, so on and so forth. This was actually not a service-based article, so I'm actually going to change that to being a more of a informative article. The tonality, we're going to stay with informative, and we're just going to copy this again back into ChatGPT, and we're going to let it do its thing, because in some cases you want certain articles to be informative, you want other articles to be more service-based. So as we can see here, right, this article that is done with a more informative tonality, it's actually more information based as well. So for example, if we take a look at the previous one that it done, it went straight into like trying to sell somebody a website. And if you think of the intent of somebody searching for benefits of a web design benefits of web design for business growth, right? People are doing their research. They want to figure out if they should allocate maybe £15,000 or $10,000 for a brand new website, right? Whereas the informational style article, it's talking about, for example, defining your brand's online personality. It's talking about signal quality and consistency through visual styling. It's talking about call to action, so making certain that your website has a good conversion rate. So if you're getting 1,000 visitors or 100 visitors, out of the 100 visitors, you're able to convert, let's say 10, 15, 20 of them, right? So it's talking about all of the benefits as opposed to just trying to hard sell somebody into getting a brand new website. And again, when it comes to uploading articles through to your website, you don't want all of your articles to be super salesy. You want some of the articles to be more informative. Now, if we take a look here, right, this is phrase.io, and basically this tells you like the score, the SEO optimization score of your web page. And currently for the keyword how web design helps businesses, the optimization score on average of the top 10 ranking articles is 47. However, with our actual content that was generated with ChatGPT, we're actually getting 62. Now, if we take a look at this article here, I'll show you exactly why this website has lost a lot of rankings, right? So if we take a look, if we just paste this into our phrase.io. So if we just paste that in there, this is getting 38. So I mean, it's 10 scores or 10 points or 11 points, 9 points, sorry, 9 points below the average. The average is 47. This article that's not ranking, it's recently went down in rankings, is scoring 38. Now, if we were to even take a look at our previous article, which was more salesy in the tonality, it was more service-based tonality, even this, I reckon, would probably get a higher score than the current article that's on the website. So if we just go over to phrase, we'll do Control A. And if we take a look here, again, it's 48 out of 100. So we are just a little bit higher than average. But the actual informative article that we actually did do, which was the one underneath this, getting a really good score straight off the bat. There is obviously a few things that you can adjust and tweak, but from a SEO optimization point of view, we are almost there. Dare I say it? Like, we're probably maybe 90% of the way there. There might be a few FAQs that we would want to add into this. There might be a little bit of tonality from our own business. But from a couple prompts of a 16-minute video, we've done a reasonably decent job. Also, this should show you the importance of how important it is to make certain that you are using certain tonalities, because all we literally done was we went from a service-based article scope to an informative article scope, and we're being a lot more informative, we're being a lot more educational throughout our content, and through that then the intent is a lot more clearer as well, and that's why we're probably getting a higher SEO score on phrase. Again, if you guys do want the article builder, the link will be down in the description. Feel free to get it. It's completely free to use. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like, subscribe. I'm doing daily SEO videos again. If you want to work with me, head over to casualdash.com, fill in the contact form, and I'll see you tomorrow.